We all love animals. Many of us keep some as pets, and we get much enjoyment out of looking after them. Not all animals are nice though, and it may come as no surprise that there are certain animals that are luckily extinct. Here are 10 of those animals. 10. Meganeura, giant dragonfly. The giant dragonfly existed about 300 million years ago. They had similar characteristics to the modern dragonfly. However, the Meganeura had a wingspan of approximately 25 inches. This made them one of the biggest insects in history. The prehistoric dragonfly survived on eating small amphibians, other insects, and would probably attack small children if they were still alive today. Meganeura is an extinct genus insect from the Carboniferous period. During this period, the lack of aerial vertebrate predators enabled the giant dragonfly and other insects to develop to a maximum size. It is typically considered that the optimal potential size of insects is dictated by how much oxygen is available for respiration. The current oxygen content available in the atmosphere is approximately 21% of the total gases. During the Carboniferous era, it was much higher, at up to 35%. Meganeura hunted and fed in a similar way to dragonflies today, but its large size suggests that many more creatures could have been on its menu. 9. Helicoprion, the wall-toothed shark. The oceans and seas are already a scary enough place, and if creatures like the wall-toothed shark still existed, people would never want to visit the beach. Would you want to go paddling with that in the water? The wall-toothed shark, an extinct genus of shark, had a circular saw-like set of teeth which was used for feeding. The wall shark grew to between 9 and 13 feet long, and luckily for us, became extinct approximately 250 million years ago. It has been quite a challenging task for scientists to trace or find remains of the wall shark because the skeleton was made out of animal cartilage, which usually breaks down entirely, specifically during the decomposition process. After some years of colourful guesses, scientists used CT scans to piece together that this was basically a shark with a chainsaw in its mouth. 8. JosephoartigasiaMonesi, giant rodent. The JosephoartigasiaMonesi is the biggest rodent that ever lived. This animal was based in the southern part of America. The giant rodent weighed almost over a ton and measured approximately 10 feet in length. In fact, you could easily compare this prehistoric giant rodent with the modern day hippo. Although the JosephoartigasiaMonesi was herbivorous and fed from green plants, this animal was extremely territorial and would fight any other animal to protect its children and living area. Thankfully, this capybara-like animal went into extinction approximately 2 million years ago. The giant rodent's fearsome front teeth, as well as large size, may have been used when animals were fighting over females for breeding rights, and also helped defend against predators. 7. Pliosaurs. Pliosaurs were the prehistoric killers of the sea, typically killing and eating anything that they wanted to in the oceans. They are cousins of the modern lizard. The Pliosaurs measured approximately 45 feet long and had jaws that could crush anything that got between them. The Pliosaurs became extinct around 100 million years ago. Their remains have been found in archaeological digs all over the world. Pliosaurs were swimming reptiles and not dinosaurs. They initially included only some members of the Pliosauridae family, but numerous other genera and families are now also included. Some distinguishing characteristics are an elegant head, short neck, with larger hind flippers in comparison to the foreflippers. They were carnivorous, and their powerful jaws carried many sharp, conical teeth. 6. Chalicotherium. The Chalicotherium was a prehistoric, gigantic animal that did not leave any notable descendants. They used their back feet to walk around and forelimbs for balance. It also used its enormous size as well as strength to pull down high tree branches for food. Its only protection was the gigantic size of its forelimbs. However, that was not enough to scare off other powerful predators of the period. The Chalicotherium existed for about 25 million years and became extinct approximately 3 million years ago. This animal would be compared to other Chalicotherid species, odd-looking herbivores that have long clawed forelimbs and stouter weight-bearing hind limbs. If you have seen the film Hellboy, then this reminds me of Samuel the Desolate One. 5. Megalodon. The Megalodon is a well-known genus of an extinct species of shark that made its way into Hollywood multiple times. Although according to some research, there is no concrete proof that this shark existed, but the general consensus is that it was estimated to be around 60 feet long. This is an approximate 3 times the size of the modern great white shark. Luckily, the Megalodon went extinct around 2.6 million years ago, but the reason for their extinction has not yet been discovered. It is widely regarded as the largest shark to have ever lived on Earth. It is also one of the biggest vertebrate predators in history. It roamed the seas and oceans until its extinction. Some of the discovered teeth from this whopping great predator have been over 17 inches. That's roughly as long as your forearm and hand. 4. Titanoboa, the giant snake. If you are scared and terrified of snakes, you better move on to the next animal. The Titanoboa was a snake that existed approximately 60 million years ago. Currently, the biggest modern snake on record that has ever been seen was an anaconda that evolved to around 27 feet. However, the Titanoboa grew about 45 to 50 feet of slithering death. It is an extinct genus of snakes that are known to have lived in present-day La Guajira in northern Colombia. This snake lived during the middle to late Paleocene epoch, which is up until around 56 million years ago. The large size of this giant snake has provided clues as to the climate of the Earth during its existence, since snakes are cold-blooded. 3. JaekelopterusRhenanie, the giant sea scorpion. The JaekelopterusRhenanie, a giant sea scorpion, was a gigantic arthropod that existed approximately 390 million years ago. It was a scorpion-like animal that extended to about 8 feet in length. The giant sea scorpion thrived in freshwater lakes or rivers. It was the top predator of its day, slicing up large fish and cannibalizing its own kind in the coastal swamp water. It measured approximately 8.2 feet long. It is the largest known arthropod ever discovered. Although this animal is also referred to as the sea scorpion, the strata and fossils suggest that the living creature dwelled mostly in freshwater bodies and estuaries, instead of living in the marine environment. Its claws measured approximately 46 centimeters. This suggests that the whole animal was longer than the average sized human. 2. ArthropleuraArmata, the giant centipede. The ArthropleuraArmata was the largest living land invertebrate with an approximate length of 8 feet. Their appearance was similar to the modern centipede, only much larger. These animals became extinct around 280 million years ago, probably due to a decrease in forests and oxygen. Luckily, there is not enough oxygen on Earth to support the existence of ArthropleuraArmata again. Despite its relationship to the modern centipede, it was omnivorous. However, it could still have venomous bites to defend and protect itself from the large predators that lived in the Carboniferous era. It was also covered in hard armoured plating. 1. Attercopus, giant spider. The Attercopus was like a giant spider, an extinct genus of arachnids. Attercopus was a spider-like animal that can produce silk. However, it lacked true spinnerets and also retained a segmented abdomen bearing a flagellum-like tail like that of a modern whipped scorpion. It is thought of as the oldest and most primitive ancestor of the modern spider. Even if Attercopus could not spin a web, it probably used its silk to wrap eggs and to help construct its burrow. Imagine finding one of those in the bath. That brings this episode of Curious Tens to a close. Please feel free to leave your comments and make sure to subscribe for more videos.